Hey, sexy souls. All right. So just FYI, we're gonna do an elemental reading. It's gonna be air. Yesterday I had several start and stops, a lot of issues. My throat closed up. It was really hurting, like out of nowhere once I started this. Attempted to do other element readings, and my throat was just clenching, like clenching. And I couldn't do it. Just attempted to start recording for the element air just about 10 minutes ago. Had some issues, things went flying out. I'm like, there is something going on, and everything is cleansed. This I know absolutely has to do with there's some chaotic energy and some releasing that needs to happen, some speaking, because it's all centered around the throat chakra and being able to get things out and articulate it. So I kind of just wanted to let you all know. I was doing some shuffling and I saw the Hermit, the Five of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, and then it kind of transitions into the Nine of Pentacles. And so I think that there's some kind of issues going on transitioning from, it kind of seems like from that place of withdrawal, trusting your vision and going to utilizing your vision to go towards your stability, your independence. So there's something about that I can tell, and I definitely think that there's something around the throat chakra that is going to play a factor into this. So we definitely need to do the see the fuck I swear to God, element of air. Now I kind of want to remind everybody that I don't do this. Isn't like specific to zodiacs. Okay, so many people have so many different kinds of things going on. Tropical charts deal with the individual, how they came to this existence. Vedic sidereal deals with how things play out within this life, not just you internally. And so there is definitely elements of both, I think, that are that really have an influence and try to influence and help keep us on our path. But at any given time, we could be operating out of any one of the elements, which we are always operating at all of them, sometimes more heavily, not very balanced. But there's usually one that kind of sticks out. And that can change because of our environment, what we're going through, any healing that we might be doing, any traumas that we might have experienced. We can be operating out of any one of those. And so I do elements instead of zodiacs, just because because if you listen to other readers, they're like, well, if it resonates, it resonates. You know what I mean? They do the zodiacs to kind of help pull in subsects of the collective. But in all honesty, I have heard readings before that sometimes you'll also see a common thread between the various zodiac signs, like that are not even of the same element because of, so I just kind of, I don't do the zodiacs. All right. So I kind of feel like I just need to establish that. Now, I did want to go over, kind of specifically what the air element really deals with, so that we can kind of get this understanding between what I feel it comes through with it, and then that way you can know whether or not you're operating out of this type of energy. A lot of people already know, and some people, if our definitions or understandings are different, some people are new to this. So I kind of want to give them a heads up as well. So the air element really deals with things like seeing, whether it's with your third eye or visibly seeing things, which is your lens. Okay. Speaking, how you hear things, again, like that also has to do with your interpretation, your lens, how you see things, right? Thinking, your beliefs, your memories, your way of communicating, learning and teaching, ideas, wisdom, understanding, like how you process your processes, your awareness, opinions, your mind, your anxieties, your worries. And so that's kind of like when your observations, like when you're in that um, type of element, those are the things that might be pretty prevalent. Oh, and will be how the reading will pan out. That's what it'll focus on. So just kind of wanted to give you that. Already did some shuffling, cleansing, all that good jazz. Let's see here. I am trying. And I do have a new, whatever you want to call this, microphone over here. And so let's hope this works out well. Mm-hmm. All right, one more. And yes, I do have tiny little hands. And so, oh shit. My version of shuffling, we're going to go one more time, may look kind of funky. All right. Well, I mixed this up somehow, but I do not do reversals, you all, unless Spirit tells me to keep it, which isn't much at all. So when you see me turn them around, that's why. I let the cards tell me a story. All right. Let's see. What do we have? What's going on with those operating out of the element of air right now? I know that there's a message. Something needs to be discussed. We need to talk about this. All right. Okay. I shit you not. I shit you not. Okay. Did I not tell you the Hermit, Five of Swords, Seven of Pentacles all came out when I was pre-shuffling? So in the Starman Tarot deck, the Hermit is the alien, as you can tell. It's number 9. Five of Swords. Seven of Pentacles. You can't make this shit up. Okay? Give me a minute. Let me get the rest of the cards out here. One more, Spirit. Now, what's funny is I said it went to the Nine of Pentacles. Like I had all of those and the Nine of Pentacles came out. But this time, the Eight of Pentacles has come out. All right. Ace of Swords. Okay, we're gonna. Those other ones are not. We're not. Nope. Oh, I'm gonna leave it. Can't do it. All right, I want to read a little bit from the Starman Tarot. I fucking love. The reason why they change things up with this one, and again, sometimes I read from the book because I really want, a lot of these cards get very infused with the creators, and this shit is just fucking gorgeous. This deck is by David DeAngelis and Esther DeAngelis. They're obviously married. And he is the artist for David Bowie. A lot of his artwork for his. The alien replaces the Hermit card, which traditionally invites the receiver to turn their attention inwards in the act of contemplation and inquiry, to retreat from life and ask the big questions. Alien is different. See why I'm reading it for you? He arrives from the void with ideas. The void where the hermit went. Wisdoms and technologies, a translucent presence glowing with the sacred geometries and universal pattern of the flower of life. In a world where distance and remoteness enables and creates space for imaginary lives, snapshots of the good life, all glowing smiles, it can be easy to feel estranged, different, and not part of the gang. We simply don't belong. This alien, though, is here to lead you back home to yourself. The alien, the outsider, the rebel, the stranger, the one you have feared, yet also secretly desired, is here to remind you that you are perfect as you are, beneath the mask of cruel imperfection. He represents your own hidden or lost wonder and miraculous powers, the parts of you that have become alien to you. I fucking love this. Okay, sorry. I just love this. All right. In the difficulties of life, the learning, the rules, and consequences of family, school, work, and relationships, parts of ourselves must remain hidden, suppressed, denied. Parts of the whole remain hidden and unknown. The alien signals your urge for freedom. Naked, untainted, there are no masks. There is no great cover-up. He catalyzes self-discovery and ignites the drive to question, challenge, and dissolve the walls that box us in. There is a remembering. And I'm gonna... You shitting me. That was fast. This is the Hermit, okay? I just want you to compare it, all right? The semblance of something more astonishing, more beautiful, and utterly miraculous surfacing. The rekindling of dreams, new possibilities, new worlds. He invites you to weave your earthly wisdom into new forms and expressions that have never existed before. That is the reason why the Hermit, comes before the world, okay? He goes in to get to pull those nuggets back to the surface, to refine his truth, okay? The truth that the, where did it go? The truth that we have lost in the difficulties of life, the learning, the rules, and consequences of family, school, work, and relationships, parts of ourselves that we've had to keep hidden, suppressed, denied. I'm reading from this book, okay? So he pulls those out, and that's why the wheel can turn, okay? That's how fate is able to turn in this particular, scenario, in this reading. That's definitely okay. He lifts you way above what you thought was possible, way beyond what you thought was you, lifting you out of your personality and its defenses and placing you back into yourself, whole and complete. Know your worth. You are perfect the way you are. Be free. Seek answers within. Go deeper and understand more of the universe, because the universe resides within you. That last little one is mine. I knew I had to pull that out for a reason. Sometimes it's just said so perfectly by the creator that you're just like, So here we are, and going in and pulling out those things that have been foreign for a while, and utilizing those to get the wheel turning, so to speak, okay? Time to get the wheel turning. And you've been doing this, it seems like, but there's some kind of conflict that's going on with it. This is the Five of Swords, okay? This is internal conflict. As you pull those nuggets back out of you, the truth, your authenticity, and you stand in your authenticity in the face of family, school, work, all of these all this programming that we have undergone and that still exists in today's society, it's this battle of allowing those to come to the surface and lead and be seen and presented and loved, that mental type of anguish. And I think that that's what's really going on. There's almost like this, it's a mental anguish with the Five of Swords. Okay. You can see the parts of the self that the mind has literally, like all these skeletons. Oh, come on. Within the mind. You know what I mean? The parts of yourself that have died off because of the thoughts that you've allowed to fester. This fight that is going on, it's completely in your mind. It's everything is up there. The memories, standing in your authenticity, knowing all of the memories. The parts of you that died off because of the experiences that you had and the beliefs that developed as a result of your experiences. This fucking camera getting my nerve. Here comes all of the, when you allow your truth and your authenticity to lead you, and be that guiding light as with the hermit. Okay. Those parts that are foreign, the programming within the mind, the memories. Remember, we talked about this with the memories that you have will come back and say, whoa. Do we really want to do this? Do you remember the deaths, the million deaths you went through? Do you really want to go through that again? And in all honesty, yes, other people can hurt us. And yes, it can feel lonely at times. But is that not also our perception? Because in hiding those pieces of ourselves, in trying to conform and be in this little box that somebody else has established for us, or that we have imposed upon ourselves so that we don't feel alone, don't we still feel alone in those moments? So this is not, parts of you died off that you quit allowing to come to the surface, or so they felt, and you have found them, you've brought them back. But it's the fears, again, the mind of it all playing out again, all the memories. But most importantly, the fear that you kill off your own authenticity, because nobody can do what you don't allow them to do. And I know that we could be like, well, somebody can, in our mind, there is the people can hurt and harm us. They can do things that are very painful, but what amplifies that pain is ourselves. We tend to amplify what we've gone through by denying ourselves the right to feel and process emotions. The fears that we then create, things that we tell on ourselves, our ego will tell ourselves in an attempt to try and make sure that type of pain doesn't happen again. The limitations we then begin to place on ourselves in order to be able to avoid those such excruciating pain again. The parts of ourselves that we cut off as a result of actions that we have taken. And I don't like that whole, you're only hurt because you have expectations. There are people who lose their children, to horrible diseases, to violence, to, you know what I mean? Don't tell me in those kind of fucking scenarios that it was your expectation that really hurt you. Bullshit. Other people can fucking they will inflict pain and harm. There's nothing wrong with healthy, high vibrational expectations, desires, wants. Okay? Wanting your child to experience life and feel air on their skin. Those things fucking matter. And there's nothing wrong with having that expectation. I don't give a shit if I piss some motherfuckers off. They are wrong for constantly, sometimes in the spiritual community, we overuse phrases and create a story and a narrative behind a phrase or a word that is not what it was intended to do, and then completely skews the purpose of that phrase for communicating an idea and energy. Okay, which is no more than, is no less than what religions do. So we have to be really careful of that within this community. It is okay to fucking have expectations. When you are operating from a high vibrational state, it's okay to expect or desire or believe. You know what I mean? And I feel like there is, like in the systems theory, all of those things kind of overlap a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Expectation and belief overlap. They share a common thread. So this notion that you can get, anyways, that's a whole fucking other video. But it's, we're not going to go this whole don't have expectations and the only reason you were hurt was because no. But you know what? When we do go through pain, we do tend to amplify that a lot because our ego is trying very hard to do what it is designed to do. And so when we try to overanalyze and stay in our head and really figure out how do we avoid something, we know that we can't avoid pain 100%, but there's certain things that we do want to try and learn from and discern, have that discernment in our actions and choices. But staying in one element and not allowing, we run the risk of cutting other parts of ourself off that are very pertinent and that are really the light to our path. Okay. And this individual is now in that space, whoever you are in this space of being where you found those nuggets and you're allowing them to be that guiding light. And you're in that embodiment piece where as you stand authentically in yourself and you are your own guiding light. Not everything else in society that tells you how things should be, your family, your girlfriend, your anything at all. You're going to face yourself again. Okay? As you stand in your truth. Your ego, your human, has to learn that it is safe for your soul to lead. Okay? And that all parts can be seen, and that the majority of the pain that we tend to experience is at our own hands, our own mind. Okay? So here's the Seven of Pentacles. You're really working in your day-to-day life, trying to get these things as a part of your being, as your actions. You're tangibly working at being who you really are, authentically you, seeing, how are that, like for me, I am a cross between a hyper little child who loves to bounce off of walls and live in this fantastical, everything's awesome and I just love this energy and I'm really bubbly, to a very serious introverted, I'm a Gemini. So I flip back and forth between the two. And I'm allowed to be that. Okay. Give me a cockeyed look. I don't give a fuck. All right. I'm going to be me. Because when I have set my life up to appease everybody else, and don't get me wrong, I definitely think about more than just myself. But if I don't think about myself at all, and if I don't put myself first, I lose myself. Okay. And that I'm not going to fucking do. So working on this shit in the real world, in your day-to-day life, planting those seeds, waiting for them to sprout, waiting for it to take root. Sometimes that can be a lonely process and a little bit daunting, because you're going to find that some people fall away. And then there's this void where you wait for those who align with your frequency, align with your truth and your authenticity and love your authenticity to come forward. And so there's this transitionary period that happens, but you don't stop doing the things that are like doing you. Okay. Next is the Two of Pentacles. It feels like you are working on this. You've really delved deep. You're working on this. You're trying to be you in your day-to-day life. And you're having moments where, or something has come up. It's one of those times where sometimes in the day-to-day routine, it's easier to integrate who you are, your authenticity. Okay. How you operate and what your truth is. And other times you run into a moment where it's like, oh, fuck. Do I really put this on display? Do I really stand out? Do I allow myself to? And so the answer is you get to this place where you're like in the physical world, because pentacles are about the material world, the physical world. Do I, in this moment, is this feeling true and authentic to me, or is this? And do I want to do this just so that I don't rock the boat too much? Because sometimes it is okay to blah, blah, blah. And it's like you're in this place of trying to determine if I operate and act like this in this scenario and I make this choice and decision, is it not, like, am I not being authentic to myself? Because let's use a job. If I take this job, it gives me all the money that I want. And in that, I have the freedom to be me, because then I have the freedom to provide, and I'm less worried about the essentials of life. And that frees me up to really be who I want to be. But this isn't exactly something I want to do during the workday. And so it is getting the income so that I can have the time and mental capacity to not worry about if I can afford food, if I can afford the rent, if I can afford the X, Y, and Z, and make sure that my kids have all of their clothes on their back, that aren't tattered and torn. If I can actually make it, this, that, and the other, then maybe that's a good trade-off, because that's still my truth. That is definitely part of what helps me to feel free, is to know that basic necessities of life are taken care of. However, what if this is so much more creative, or this is more in my wheelhouse of what really gets my passions going. And it might require some changes within my life or it brings a little more like iffiness or ups and downs, and it's like, well, if I work over here with this particular job, this is channeling for somebody. I'm telling you, this is just coming. If I work in this particular job, then, what if I'm just so mentally exhausted and spent that it doesn't matter that I have the freedom to do with my time and such, because when I come home, I'm no good to my kids. I'm no good to myself. I'm in a piss poor mood. My energy is drained. So anything outside of this work doesn't even fucking matter, because guess what? I'm not me because of the work. Okay. But this one allows me to be me at work. So when I come home, I'll feel like me. But does it have the stability, what I deem to be stable, or what I deem to be stability? Is it necessarily true that X, Y, and Z job is stable? Well, I think this pandemic has taught us that a lot of shit ain't fucking stable. And so, I think that there's this going back and forth of, okay, but I like consistency when it comes to income. Like, I really do like that. And I like consistency, period, in life. And so, not routine, not like ground into this a stone kind of, but just certain things where this, I like to eat the same thing every time I go to a particular restaurant. I have a favorite in every single one of them. That's just how I am. That's my personality. That's being true to me. Doesn't mean that I'm not fluid in other parts of my life and that I don't let things flow. So it's like there's this whole which one is more me, which one feels better in this moment, which one reflects who I am. And that's kind of what's going on with you right now. You're kind of like in this space of there is a decision and you're kind of like, okay, what feels more authentic for me and true for me? That decision is going to help you to continue to grow, where you actually see the fruits of your labor now, where things, and we're going to find out what this is, the two of Pentacles. So we're going to delve into that with the Oracle cards, but it allows you to continue with your growth. You don't want to get stuck at, I'm trying things out, I'm planting seeds, I'm doing this, but nothing really comes of it. Like, do I get to step fully into who I am? Totally in every area of my life, not just at home, not just with these people. I want shit to grow. I want it to blossom. I want it to flourish. I want to flourish. All this work that I did at pulling back who I really am on the inside and bringing those beautiful nuggets back to the surface and realizing I'm just good how I am. I want that to continue. I want that to be seen. I want to be that in every facet of my life. No more stop signs. No more stop signs. You know what I mean? And so this is what you're dealing with. And it ultimately, when you want to make the correct decision so that things can continue to flourish and you can and always stand in your truth. Okay? Being 100% you. We've always had those friends where we don't let our crazy out, you know what I mean? Like you can go certain areas with Jane over here, but there's always that stop sign. You can't go there with them. You can't show this side of you, or you can't talk about this crazy thing. But this friend over here, you can talk to them about that crazy thing, but they won't let you talk about the domestic stuff that you like to do, like the cooking and blah, 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 or they won't engage in those activities with you, which is perfectly fine. But you ever get to a point where you're like you constantly you never can be just 100% you. You're always having to worry or tailor yourself for other fuckers. And it's like, it's so great to get to a point where you don't have to fucking do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? In every facet of your life. So this is like letting it really take off, because once you make this decision and you understand what it is that you really, truly, genuinely want, that's more reflective of you and your truth at this point in time, all the alien pieces of you are up and out and showing, and you find your true path. I feel like this also is like, that's your true path. Like the area that piece, that choice that you make where you really get to fully show out. Because this dude looks like he's fully showing out. And he's wielding his magic. And it's fucking beautiful. So let's get into this. I want to know what specifically. Okay, this is, you know what? I obviously, why don't I tell you? Forgot the name of the deck. Madame Endora's fortune cards. Good God. Madame Endora's fortune cards. So I feel like this is why it was so difficult, because it's almost as if I want to say, those throat chakra issues that I was having. It is about your own mind. It seems as though, working through your own mind to be truly who you are, so that the voices in your head that are not yours are not the ones that are going to be dictating anymore. So it's almost like getting past, you know what I mean? You've found your true self, all the pieces that you've hidden of yourself. You are now fighting your own mind to express those and to be those things that are true to you in your authenticity. And as you do that, it's almost like your mind wants to stop you a little bit because of all the memories and all the beliefs that you had developed over time that you've tried to work through, but you're still embodying all of the new things that you've discovered about yourself. And so it's like overcoming simultaneously, like working through the mental shit that wants to try and prevent you from being really who you are, those mental trappings, and implementing, actually actioning that shit in your life, like saying the things and doing the things and directing your life the way that you want, so it is reflective of you. You come to a biggie, you're like, fuck, where you're like, okay, this is kind of confusing because they all seem a little bit like, these options feel very much so like there's pieces of me in this and pieces of me in this, and what's really truly. And so for once you have to really, and it's a choice. This is going to dictate how things pan, like a ripple effect in your material, physical existence. And so you're kind of like, I want to be making that decision that allows me to flourish and continue to grow, that adds growth to my life, that adds the things that I want, that, takes me to the 10 of Pentacles. My version of what stability is, my version of growth, my version of wielding my magic and what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? And so, and the 8s are about prosperity. It's a very prosperous path. You want to get onto that prosperous path. You know what I'm saying? 8 leads to the 9 to the 10. Come on now. And it's really about always being in your truth and authenticity, your true path that is completely reflective of who you are. And it's a new one. It's just like a brand new life that opens up to you because you're fully who you want to be. So we need to understand, here's the crux of the entire reading, is the 2 of Pentacles. And we are at 37 minutes. So I'm just going to Two of Pentacles. Kind of would like to get a good understanding. All right, so I'm actually we're going to use Kipper really quick. We're going to try and figure out what this is about and then get the advice as to what should be done. I did already shuffle all of these. Really? Oh, that's it. That's too many. Okay. So when I try to put something back and 2 more flop out, I feel like this is definitely a So I think this is going to be a little bit different for everybody because I'm getting 2 scenarios from Spirit right now. So what we've got is the Lovers from Kipper and unexpected income. Now, unexpected income can be like something sudden that happens, or gifts and avenues that kind of open up unexpectedly, suddenly. But it's like a nice little, ooh, I like that. And then we've got the Lovers, which is obviously self-evident, really feeling and experiencing love. But I get like, for some people, it's an unexpected choice in love. It's like maybe 2 lovers, 2 options of individuals where you're like, I mean, we've always met that. We've all been in that place where we're like, okay, if I date this person, is it going to go like this? Like there might be something iffy about so-and-so, and maybe so, and you're like, well, I don't know. And it's like, rarely do we get like 2 really great fucking options, but I almost feel like that's what this is. So it's like an option between lovers. And it's like, what what does each, and these are, I'm not saying these are not necessarily people you're currently dating. It's not like you're like, very serious with two different people. That's not what I'm getting. I'm getting like two opportunities that are being presented. And it's like you exploring deep within you to go, okay, I have literally in my day-to-day life up to this point really tried to implement who I am and make choices and decisions and actions based upon my truth, and being authentically me. Who in this scenario can add that to me? Which option would allow me to continue that and maybe add to the flourishing of me? Because I certainly don't want to be with a person that I can't be 100% myself. Okay. I don't want no stop signs. All right. The second scenario that I'm coming up with is, and I know unexpected income, it usually isn't like these grand opportunities and things like that, but I am getting like Spirit is saying there's like an option between, you come across this point where it's like, you feel like you have to choose between love and like this awesome new way of making money that has come about, and feeling like you don't really want to divide your attention and having to make a decision between a person or a love and like a job, a career type path. You know what I mean? Like anything new, like this unexpected opportunity arises and it's like kind of puts you aback, and it's like, could I have both at the same time, or do I need to choose? I'm not really sure. And it's like this Two of Pentacles is like one path, I get both. One path, I make a decision. I mean, there's a whole lot of decisions up in that, you know what I'm saying? And it's really trying to figure out which one, like what kind of scenario is going to allow me to really continue to be who I am. Look at this. I love these colors. And to flourish. Like what's going to get me to that place? And so that again is, I've done all of this work, and I know what it's like to be me, because I've really been planting all those seeds, which Spirit wants you to understand, because you've really been taking the steps to be who you truly are in every scenario of your life, in every facet, in every moment. Even when it's been difficult, you know what I'm saying? Even when bad shit has happened in the past and you're afraid to. That's why you get these options. That's why you're getting these options. Okay. And so let's try and figure out what the advice is in both of these scenarios. Okay. Why you gotta, I tell you. Huh? Oh man, seriously? I just made it worse. I got the fighting for this little fucker. Okay. What? Oh no, we're gonna get some more. What? Okay, hold on. Get a little too excited and I need to pay attention. Oh. What the fuck? Okay, we're just gonna take this one. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, people. I do know how to shuffle. That was like a vomit. Okay. So, all right. So what I'm gathering, you're gonna love this. You're gonna be like, what? Is the two cards that came out, and we'll ask some more. We're not gonna stop there. Your luck will change soon. So this obviously, these opportunities that are presenting themselves is really meant to be a catalyst it really is genuinely which option, which way that I go will be the best path for my true authenticity. So it's a pretty important one. So definitely can understand, the weighing up and the kind of going through. But then Spirit's like, but understand. So there's forces beyond your control that are intervening. And I kind of get a sense of what you really need to do is just knowing yourself constantly, like really be in tune with yourself, really feel each moment what resonates the most with you. Okay. Doing the best you can to kind of stay out of out of a battle with your mind. Okay. Also maybe more, instead of battling yourself, maybe do more observation, observing that which is going around, observing your inner world, how your body reacts, how your spirit reacts to what you're seeing and what you know what I mean? And rather than analyzing, contemplating, you know what I mean? Because that'll be a lot better for you to understand which path is for you. But it kind of feels like there's going to be some things that will come to light with this whole forces beyond your control are going to intervene in this situation that brings about this change of luck. And it's almost as if allowing that to unfold will help you when making this decision. But it's also telling me that these options, because of all this work that you've done to be who you truly are coming about as a result of that. And Spirit's like, let's bring, and this doesn't necessarily feel like there's any bad options. It's just in this moment, in this point in time, what speaks to me the most. Any advice for the watcher? What can this watcher do? What can this watcher do? Be meticulous and patient. I will never like that word patient, because their fucking version of patient and mine are two totally fucking different things. Just saying, okay? And I know y'all are the same way. So, okay. So be meticulous, meaning, again, go back to that observe in any given moment. Really check in with yourself. Be meticulous about knowing how you're feeling and resonating with anything, like any information, any experience. Allow yourself to be very present in every moment at this point in time, and not stuck in your head, and just observe and be patient. Okay. So stay true to yourself. Be meticulous about staying true to yourself, making decisions in every moment that are good for you. Continue to do what you've been doing, because in time, some information is going to be revealed. I want to get a little bit more information about the whole, your luck is going to change and forces beyond your control. So let's see a little more specifically, Spirit, what exactly are you trying to say in regards to forces beyond your control or intervening? What's going to happen with this intervention? What information or events need to unfold? I don't know if they're going to necessarily tell us, but with this luck changing. Oof. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so we're kind of in the same realm. So what they're telling me with this, and again, this is Kipper, and they have a lot of, it's not always exactly specifically what's being said, and this is what they're telling me. There's kind of like this expectation that you have. This, and again, expectations are not necessarily bad if you're operating from a higher frequency. Expectation, desire, wants. Those things are okay to have in life. That helps to fuel your passion and drive and motivation, and knowing when those things come from deep within. That's definitely a good thing. And so, wanting things to kind of your expectation really. You may be kind of envisioning to a certain degree what it looks like to really be who you are on any given path, whether it's in love or work. And it's almost as if, because of how you've been doing things, okay, I'm feeling into the energy right now, because of how good you have gotten at really being yourself, and allowing those alien parts of yourselves to shine, that you kind of have your expectation is really about yourself. This feels like there's an expectation for the self, and so you try to envision what that looks like for you when you are operating in your life, right? And so in any given moment, you're kind of adjudication is really about the assessment of all the information, okay, that comes to you. And so, like, you're trying to do that again with the Two of Pentacles, but they are just saying, and they're not necessarily getting, I'm going to go one more time to see if I get any more specifics, but this sudden wealth isn't just money. Sudden wealth is like something comes to you suddenly, and it's good. And it's a sudden, unexpected change. Unexpected. And so, again, it's really about, hold off, more is to come. And I don't feel like this is, it's not like far off. And look, sudden wealth is number 11. Okay, let me see here if I don't know. This kind of really feels like you just got to be patient. Continue to do this. Something's going to come to you, because there's several different scenarios here, whether it's two lovers or an option between love but it's like, understand that these options are coming. But see, okay, so I'm going to go back, and I want more information, like, because, okay, those are this is a very, I want to choose what's best for me, right? And maybe it is about allowing these options to really fully present themselves so that you can understand what you best, you know what I mean? And what best suits you. So really, like, at first glance, what you think these options are, and then it's really like getting to know them or allowing them to kind of unfold so that you can really understand if you resonate with your options, whether it's two people or whether it's like, at this point in time, I really want to focus on one or the other area of my life. I really want to put more energy into that because that feels good to me. That's what I'm ready for. That's where I'm at. Or if I could do both, I can have this great new love and this great new career, and I can, where am I at energetically, so that, what is going to be my decision, what is good for me, and how can I be 100% me in any given moment. I know I keep saying that, but that's what it feels like. It's like, because there's a freedom to that, and that's the piece that you don't want to let go of, is that sense of who you are, no masks. You know what I mean? But I feel like there's a little bit more, because once it unfolds, I'm sure Spirit's gonna be like, you'll know, because if you stay authentically in your truth and your power and true to yourself, you're gonna know if something is right for you or not. So it's really about staying in that. Okay, not in your memories. Oops. and expressing that. Let your intentions be known, which is really just about expressing your true authenticity. The minstrel, it's through music. He tells his story. So if you're authentically you, unapologetically you, in every single moment, no matter who you're interacting with, no matter what scenario we're talking about, you don't hold back, you don't hide, and you don't mask. You are yourself. And can I just say that's not permission to be an asshole? Because I feel like sometimes people are like, well, I'm just being me. And it's like, well, you are also spewing negative bullshit at people, your energy. I know you get to feel what you want to feel, but there is an appropriate way. If you're operating out of the base energy frequency, the tie that binds all of us, which is the frequency of love, so you can feel negative emotions and still operate from a frequency of love, which means how you handle and express those things will be reflective of how you do it, but it won't be nasty bleh to other people, okay? So let's be real. This does not mean that you're an a-hole to people, okay? I'm just being really me. That person is a low vibrational individual who is willing to spew negative energy at other people because that's authentically them. There's a problem there then. So anywho, but this is just being you. And, again, not caring. So keep doing the Seven of Pentacles, because information will be able to be revealed to you. The more you are yourself, the more feedback you get from your environment, the more you understand you can feel into their energy and whether or not they or things are a good fit for you. So just keep doing that and you'll be able to continue on your path, okay? And stand in your truth. You will continue to flourish, all right? You will flourish. And again, the 8 leads to the 9 to the 10. And that's really your trajectory. So there is something good coming. There are really good options. It doesn't feel like there's any necessarily, these are new things that show up and you're like, what the fuck? Like, ooh, this is awesome. And sometimes when something feels that awesome, it's like, oh, is this too good to be true? And you really want to feel in. It's like, like you don't want to make that wrong decision. But if you're being yourself in every moment, really fully in your power and energy and in touch with your inner world and your alien, then you're going to be good. Allow the true you to guide you. That's the message. Don't stop just because new awesome options. You will know. The universe will reveal, because as you continuously operate in your true authentic energy, that which it doesn't resonate exactly with you will just naturally fall away. Okay? Because you will be like, meh. You'll know. You will know. Alrighty. Okay. I hope that was beneficial. Good luck with these new awesome fucking opportunities. Y'all are lucky. But if there's anything, just remember, be yourself. Be true to yourself. You worked hard to fucking find the pieces of you that were hidden for so long. You got this. Have a wonderful day.